Hi, this is Curvature of Space-Time Part 2. What exactly is that curve to space and time that Einstein discovered before 1915? Well, if you were to line up every object in the universe, including God himself, all the angels, all the mountains, rivers, streams, human beings, if you lined them all up in a straight line, contained within each and every one of these things are three basic traits or characteristics that come together to form each and every one of these individual things. Excuse me. Okay, so trait number one would be the likenesses or similarities between any one object and all the other objects around it. Um, God has all three traits, and he has his likeness or similarity to the things around him. The same would go for, let's say, one watermelon to another watermelon. Excuse me. Or a pineapple to a watermelon. They're, they're both fruit. You know, one is a watermelon, one's a pineapple, but they share certain likenesses or similarities. And those likenesses want to take everything in this universe and bring their similarities so close that the likenesses try to bring everything together as if there was just one object in this universe. But there's not. There's many, many different objects and things and concepts. And that brings us to uh, characteristic number two, which is the opposing or opposite characteristics. As sweet is to sour, as pain is to pleasure, as hot is to cold, as light is to dark. And these opposing or opposite characteristics want to show the difference between one thing and how opposite it is or far away from the things around it. The third characteristic is the most difficult to understand because it tends to represent the sum of the first two, sort of their emotional side or the descriptive side. That third characteristic would be the general difference between things. If you take a 3,000-pound African rhinoceros and a 3,000-pound Ferrari or Lamborghini sports car, or all three can come in the color gray. I mean, most rhinoceroses are gray. You know, you can buy a gray Lamborghini, a gray Ferrari, but a rhinoceros, it's not like a Ferrari. And a rhinoceros is not the opposite of a Ferrari. They're just different. So what happens, because we live in a three-dimensional universe, and every physical object has to move and operate in a three-dimensional universe, so every object in this universe has three distinct traits that help it move and coexist with itself and other objects. Um, so what happens is this. The similarities between things, try to bring them together, if possible, to form only one thing in the universe. But there are umpteen billions upon billions and trillions of different things. And each of these different things also has a certain amount of opposing characteristics that try to push their identities apart. And if you've ever heard that term, the circle of life, well, that half circle curve forms roughly a half circle. But in the circle of life, it's the third characteristic, the general difference as a whole, that helps balance between the similarities that want to pull things together and their opposing characteristics that want to push them apart. And it's that third characteristic that simply shows how one thing that contains likenesses, opposites, and general differences, and shows how it is just generally different than the things around it. This is an oversimplification, but life does come in three parts, and I named it the three-particle principle in the summer of 2003. And so anyways, my next video will be number 3. Maybe I'll go into some more examples, everyday examples of how we all live in this curvature of space-time. This is Dan Bryan with the Bible Institute for Truth and Learning website. God bless you guys and have a great day.